Here's our drill press. Our drill press is a pretty simple machine. It's a lot like a hand drill, obviously. A lot of students are pretty decent with it and have used it quite a bit. Just a couple refreshers for safety wise. One of the things I worry about the most is long hair or anything that could get caught in the spindle, because you're kind of working kind of close to the spindle. It'd be really easy to get something wrapped up in there, and that's something I worry about. The other thing I worry about is you want anything that's longer protruding out to go to the operator's left. So for example, this vise hangs out. I want this to go to my left, because you can imagine if it's over here on my right, okay, it's going to rotate this way. So if I'm looking at the drill, it rotates this way. And if it gets caught, it could swing over and hit me. So if I have like a long workpiece, it could swing over and hit me. But if I'm over here on the left and it gets caught, it could just swing over and hit this post back here. Okay, so that's something to kind of keep in mind. Okay, I'm just loosening this, and then I can move it to the different RPMs. So you kind of see the numbers increasing right now. And I can move it back here and the number will change. It depends what kind of material you're drilling into. Right here is a nice feature. This is a stop. So I can set up the stop if I'm drilling multiple holes, and then it will help stop the depth of how deep my drill. So you can kind of see if I move those all the way down, it will stop right there. So there we go. That's where it's going to stop. It's always good to have a scrap piece of wood down, depending on where you're at in your project, and that would be really helpful. This vise needs to be bolted down to the table. So if I'm using this vise or any vise, any clamp system, this really needs to be clamped down as well, so that way it does not move. If you want to move the whole table down, to move this whole table down, I have to loosen this bolt first. Okay? If I don't loosen this bolt first, I end up bending this column. So I'm going to turn this to the left, or I turn it counterclockwise, and that would loosen it. So you probably just saw that the table dropped, and here's why. The table dropped because it's bent down here. Alright, so here's the gear that this rides on. So when I crank this, this is what rides on it. And what happens is people try to lower this table, but don't loosen this bolt back here. So the bolt that I just showed you, you have to loosen first. If you don't loosen that first, you can actually force this, and then it bends this. Okay, so it's not supposed to be bent like this. This will have to be replaced. It's like a $36 part. We've replaced it several times. So it's really important that you loosen this back here, and then you can adjust it to whatever it needs to be at. Okay, whatever height that you want. We have a couple other features on the drill press. We have a work light, and we have a laser. The laser's not super accurate, but it will give you some guidance. What you can do is you can kind of set it up to wherever you want it to be, and then it will be good. But the first time you turn on the laser, it might not actually be lined up. You might have to readjust the table a little to the center point of the laser, but then once you get it set up, it should be